As promised, the full review of the Segway Ninebot kick scooter. I've had family and friends riding this scooter, trying it out, testing it, giving me their feedback and opinions. My brother-in-law was a big help on this review, riding it while I shot some B-roll. It was just a fun change in the pace here on the channel. First and foremost, something that really stuck out to myself and my brother-in-law, who's rode kick scooters extensively throughout different cities in the US, is these larger tires. Okay, these are 10-inch tires. Most standard kick scooters are 8-inch, and there's actually some out there with 6-inch tires. And one thing that really stood out to us was how smooth of a ride that this scooter was compared to the other ones that we've ridden in cities where you can kind of rent them on the go. You can grab your phone, rent them, ride somewhere downtown, and then just leave it there, and that's up to them. Whatever. The tires going over bumps and even riding we actually rode off-road a little bit just to see how it would do. And it was so smooth. It was so capable of taking really any big bumps or city streets. And think about a lot of city streets have potholes and bumps and crevices. And so for me, having anything less than these 10-inch tires, I'd be a little scared to ride on. But for the most part, we had pretty smooth roads. We had a nice long driveway we were testing it out on. But as soon as we got out into anywhere that was more like cavernous and terrain oriented, I still wasn't concerned with these larger tires. So that's something that really stands out to me that the Ninebot has going for it, is these big 10-inch tires. Now, the next thing is the headlamp. It has a good wide range to light up the path in front of you. It doesn't go far, but it lights up pretty close in front of you to see anything that you're coming up on. In case there's any deep bumps or crevices, you can kind of dip or dodge them really quickly. So the headlamp was good and bright. This will get up to around 18 miles an hour and actually get up to around 22 going downhill. We got a pretty good hill we were going down, and we got up to around 22 miles an hour, 23. But overall, in the sport mode, that's really where I was enjoying it most. It had good speed. Going uphill, it got around 12 to 15 miles an hour, depending on how steep the grade was. This thing is approved for a 20% grade. But with that in mind, if you're running it on sport mode at around, up and down in some hills, you're going to get about 2.5 hours of battery out of it. But if you're running it on eco mode to really get the most distance, which is about 18 miles or so, you can get about 18 miles out of this scooter. You're going to go at about 12 miles an hour, and the battery will last at around 5 hours, give or take. So it does a pretty good, it's got some good distance. Just if you're going on a lot of different places and moving around the city a lot, I'd bring the charger with you, which is a small, about 150 watt sized charger block. And with that charger, you'll be able to throw it in your backpack, keep yourself charged up throughout the city. But it will last all day if you're just kind of going place to place and not just riding it around for fun. I loved the quick folding mechanism. It was super easy just to go ahead, lock it in place, put the little lock in, and then you are good to go. Throw it in the back of your car, whatever you needed to do. If you maybe commute in from out of town in the city, park, and then you get your scooter to get you actually to your final location, I think that'd be a fun use case for the scooter. Now, the build quality is great. You got some good thick steel piping that holds the whole chassis together. Like I said, nothing feels loose or shaky. It's very firm, very well put together. The disc brakes on the back are fantastic. This is a dual braking system. So when you let off the throttle, the front drum kind of slows down with what's called regenerative braking system. And on the back, when you squeeze the brake, you have a nice disc brake, which actually the front reacts and has some ABS, so some stability. So if you jam on the brake too hard, it hopefully won't slide out and crash. So that's really helpful. But then also the regenerative braking system helps infuse power back into the battery. So it gives a little bit of that running charge. Not a ton. It's not going to completely recharge your battery or keep you fully charged for all day, but it will help to conserve some of that power and keep your battery as full for as long as possible. To charge it, you just quickly pop in the charger here down in the footbed of the scooter, which below is where the batteries are kept. Now, another thing that really stood out to me is how tall the steering column was. It came up high on myself and my brother-in-law, which then when my father-in-law got on this scooter, he's about 6'2", 6'3", and he looked very comfortable. It didn't look like it was really short on him. A lot of times when you see people riding scooters in the city they're very tall people, it's like down at their waist, and it just doesn't look comfortable to be riding a scooter and like holding and trying to steer way down at your waist. Having it more like up near your abdomen is a more comfortable riding position, more natural for where your arms fall. And so though it was slightly tall for me and my brother-in-law, on a taller person, it looked very comfortable. And so really the range was good. I liked how tall the handlebar was. When this came in for review, I had some nephews just coming into town, and it was fun to see some younger kids really enjoying it, all the way up to my father-in-law really enjoying it, and then my brother-in-law, and just, it was so cool to see how this scooter really fit for any age group. So no matter how old you are, or what age you are, or what you're looking to use this scooter for, even if it's just for fun, if your young kids wanting to buzz around the neighborhood. I'm not sure the age constrictions on this, so don't quote me on how old you have to be to actually ride one of these on the sidewalks or the road. I don't know any of those things, so legal disclaimer below. This is not legal advice. This is just me saying. This thing was really fun for all ages, and we all enjoyed having a great time riding it around. So if you're curious about the exact pricing and availability of this scooter, you can head down in the description below and click one of those links. I thank Segway for sending this over, giving us the opportunity to test it out and ride it around. It was a ton of fun, like I keep saying. So links if you're ready to make a purchase or want to check out the pricing, likes if this video has brought you some value, and subs if you don't want to miss out on the future uploads. I'll see you here in the next one.